Yo, what's going on, dudes? I'm back with game number 3 on the 2v2 tournament. Like I said earlier, game 1 was just Faust disconnecting and me 1v2ing, and yeah, didn't really work out too well. Anyways, game 2, you saw us on Paddy Fields, and this is game 3 now. 1-1 down in between the games, and we're playing Blue 4 on their choice, Pujang Valley. No, it's mutual choice actually. I think we mutually agreed to play this map, and quite an interesting map to play 2v2 on. And I definitely think we got the better side when it comes to playing 2v2 on this map because this side is just way more offensive than the other side. You have options just to do pretty much whatever you want on both flanks or just hardcore mid whatever. Um, I think uh, I think our game plan was pretty strong going into this. We had known that I think not too many people are very good against a push that goes from between Alpha and Fox. So pretty much we line up a nice, pretty much a big force of a lot of shit, a lot of wheeled vehicles. I think like 4K1s, a lot of heavy tanks, um, and we send those right down here and we can just smoke off here where their main force would be. We can just spread out, and as soon as we get spread, it's not much of a difference to cover, not difference, distance to cover, and until you get to these, I guess, deployment service roads here. So you're able to kind of just start shooting at shit that's behind their lines, and it's really hard to defend because these roads don't directly go into these forests here. I mean, yeah, sure, you could, come into here or whatever, but it is kind of risky because you have this big open field, and if you're flanked by, this side and this side, then it's kind of like a pincer, and you're in a weird spot. You'll see some weird movement by me with my K1s as well. And I'll kind of explain that when I go through when the game actually starts, what's going through my head about units and shit like that. Anyways, I'm doing kind of a pretty defensive force that's going to set up over here in Alpha. There's no reason to just set back here. You want to be as forward as possible, and then retreat background. Same with Bravo, just setting up a defensive line here, and Bravo pretty much mid line. And just set up and just make sure you don't lose it, to any weird stuff. And then while Faust is going somewhat in Fox and just full on down into the push area. And they're also playing red. I'm not sure. I think one of them's playing USA, and the other one's playing mixed. Yeah, it looks like the other one's just playing mixed. Either mixed mech. No, no, just mixed. I think they saw how amazing USA is last game, and they just decided to try it out again. Anyways, go ahead and speed up so we can get to the initial fight real quick. Alright, so Faust's force is pretty much, yeah, so I tell Faust, hey dude, send me an AT-GM squad. If they push me in mid, just completely deny whatever this open push is. Um, and that's just, thinking for, the future of the game, I guess, or anything like that. Uh, something as small as that can really help you out in the long run. Anyways, we get eyes on an HC Abrams and two M1A1s, and at this point, I know that I cannot fight those tanks. Um, it would just be a losing battle if I did that. Like, I would just throw away all my tanks. So immediately I call for Faust to, instead of push hard left, to just throw his shit right. And I said, I'm pretty sure that, I said I was just going to move my tanks over to the right, to the main forest. Because, as you can just see here, there's fucking nothing in middle. I think they really expected a right-hand push, when in reality we were able to get a left hand push and then eventually a mid push. So, and this is kind of an interesting thing too here. They're pushing kind of this way with some tanks and stuff. which I wasn't really expecting. But I have these two leopards that are gonna try to defend a little bit, kind of retreat and reverse. But anyways, you see these tanks. We know that the HC and the M1A ones are over here. They're out of position. That's why I'm hauling ass to get these K1s into this forest over here. Because these tanks are out of position. They don't have any line of sight on anything. And if worst comes to worst, they might kill like one K1 or something. But I'm getting them over here, away from those heavy tanks. Because I already told Faust that my first buy out of deployment would be a Kayumara, just because we needed a heavier tank than these K1s. For the exact reason, as is here, is K1s are only good against medium tanks, and when you have four of them, they're good against almost everything except that many medium heavies and heavies. So Faust is pretty much embedded into here now, but I have to secure this little small force here. That's why I'm still moving my K1s. I'm gonna move them even further over here because I know that his tanks. There's no threat here. Faust has already cleared out pretty much everything. The only tanks that can harm me are on the left side. They're out of position and they're not spread out. They're pretty much in a general area. So we're just getting deep in there, deep into the Delta Forest and just controlling. They had a good response to just a lot of infantry, but I think they need more armor. Like they really didn't have any tanks to match me. Um, but yeah, this is my reinforce. I start reinforcing because I know it's going to be a little bit of an issue. And then my fucking K1 gets blown the fuck away. Yeah, I get blown the fuck away by that K1. I was able to these are pretty low, but I was able to get another shot on that, and just whatever. Again, Faust is doing well against this guy, and he's got a GR1 to come in and kill this HC Abrams. Yeah, the thing is beast. Killing that is pretty good. That means my Chimera Shiki can go head to head against these two M1A1s and win pretty decisively. This Deagle doesn't really know where it's going itself. It's just dying. So that's a free 160 points, and that's a pretty big, huge throwaway. Just for Deagle. Anyways, move all my defensive forces up because we're kind of lacking in the infantry department now. And we already know that we're quite ahead when it comes to just map advantage. So that's why we're moving up for. I lose a K1 there. I've lost two K1s. I've lost three K1s now, which is bad on my part. Like if I was able to micromanage this tank battle here earlier, a little bit better, that would have been much better. And when it comes to just controlling this part, but I didn't, so whatever. Um, on the left, I don't really know why he's using these VD-120s. These things are fucking awful. Don't use these. Not even sure why you'd want to, but don't. Uh, so, Faust is moving up his Fusis, and they're getting shot at by these two Monet ones. I think this is when I start moving up. Oh, I'd buy a second Kayamar too. Just because when we kill their HC Abrams, it means they have to reinvest in a heavy tank once they see these two Kayamar Shikis, because these things don't really fuck around. When it comes to killing medium heavies, they do it pretty quick. So they're gonna have to rebuy another tank. So buying two just means they have to get like an M1A2 or something better than that, which there's nothing. So yeah, I'm pushing up some of the Ericses that were down in defensively. Now I'm just pushing them up just to make sure we control this forest. Faust also has more infantry coming in. Faust played really well this series. I have to give it to him. He played definitely really well. I think we worked together well in both games. It's just the DC one kind of sucked a bit. Um, a little bad micro on my part though. I should have been killing these M1A ones. I should have been trying to be a lot more aggressive against them because they should have really been dead. But line of sight's a bit wonky right here, or else I would. But That's just how it is. Anyways, he LRMs and gets some nice hits. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe. Ah, they really don't do any damage, do they? It's a bit sad. That was directly on top, but they just didn't kill anything. These XAs, again, are really stupid annoying with their frontal armor and everything like that, so... not really much is going on at the moment. I'm just defending this, getting a CV for... and then... pretty sure, yeah, we know where the M1A ones are, and we're just reinforcing with infantry, you know, Jaegers and shit like that. I'm just throwing Jaegers in there. And I get a command tank for a Delta. And, yeah. Um, so again, we're just pushing up. There's nothing in, I didn't know there was nothing in there. They have a good reinforcement, good set of reinforcements coming, but I'm gonna try to push my Cayuse up here again. They weren't that efficient in this game because, I mean, I didn't really have anything to kill. I think I get critted. No, I don't. Should have been able to kill those, but I wasn't able to, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, this is a lot of shit. Wasn't quite ready for that, but that's what these K1s are for. Just, they don't have a tank to match the K1, so I can just sit here and just shoot everything. Shoot all the infantry, just mow everything down. Yeah, and then back up. Because again, I know I have nothing guarding my left flank, so it's mostly possible they can have infantry over here. Oh, and this is where we re-engage back on this forest. I lose a Kayamura Shiki to a Nighthawk. Yeah, that was a Nighthawk that flew past a couple seconds ago. The Kayamura Shiki dies, whatever, that's fine. This one's weapons jammed. We got the CV here. So we're taking +2. Tank CV should be... Where is it? Oh, tank CV's here. So we're in a pretty decent spot. Again, Jaegers are moving up into this forest. Pretty much gonna push them all out of here. He doesn't have enough infantry to stop us at all. And I have enough tanks here at the moment to be in a pretty decent spot. He rebuys a counter Shiki in mid, but it's not. I think it's a little too late now. We've had map control for like the whole game, but as you can see, when it comes to the points wise, we're kind of still. We should be a lot further ahead because that's the thing about this strat. I mean, you kind of stay kind of neutral when it comes to points, but when it comes to the late game, if you're able to get a counter cap on Delta, the points go by pretty quick. So an LRM coming in to try to get a oh well, Kymar Shiki dies, but LRM coming in to try to get the CV, but it doesn't really matter. Again, the GR1's insane, so it's nice that Faust was able to kill that Kayamura Shiki. It did kill a K1, but killing the Kayu is just a huge advantage right now. So he buys an HC Abrams, and now I'm just pushing my Kayu up to permanently settle in the forest. I throw some extra reinforcements over here, just in case. We want to make sure we control Fox for like the whole game. And yeah, this is just really far ahead. So there's a couple of big tanks here. I try to micromanage this as much as possible. I know there's an M1A one here. Didn't know it was on like no gas. And I knew I'd lose to this HC Abrams, pretty sure. Well, I just didn't want to lose a lot of health. I'd probably lose the fight initially, but I needed to get a couple of AT hits, and then I wanted him to shoot his gun so that he'd be reloading when I pop up to shoot him. So I unload, boom, fucking yeah. Kill a Chaparral, and then there's another M1A1 there. her Marshiki's still full HP, and the only thing that took damage was these Panzerskite and I guess one of the Eric's teams. Bit scared of side armor here, but I have enough rate of fire to end that M1A1's life pretty quickly. But yeah, we're really far ahead, at least to me, map-wise. I'll lose a roll in there, it's whatever. Right now, we still haven't fully pushed them out. We're close. We're close to just shoving them out of there. Really close. But it just has to happen now. Uh, I think now we're just, I'm just waiting. Try to shove out here, but then I realize there's a lot of stuff here, so I'm just gonna back up. I back myself back up. And, they bought a Tomcat, which was definitely pretty interesting. Not sure why you'd even have that in your deck, but yeah, they bought a Tomcat. But yeah, if you look at the map, we're pretty all over the area, like all over the map. We have our forces a lot larger than theirs, and we're still only +2, you know? So, that's a having counter caps. I mean, we definitely could have pushed into Bravo, maybe from the flank over here. I think that's something we could have done for sure. And then once we get this, we can completely cut off Fox and kill the Fox CVs. So we just have to do it. We just have to get some tanks in here, armor, some AA, and then we're good. We'll go ahead and just speed this up a bit, because really not much happens. Attack, they buy an attack'ems, which is pretty dumb. It's 150 points and it killed absolutely nothing. And when you're this behind on the map, but artillery's the last thing you kind of want, so. First round kills this thing, or the second round does, and it's really accurate. Holy shit. Look at that dispersion. Or, I don't know, maybe that was just a fluke. He splits the GR7 on both these Rolands and doesn't kill any of them, so that's the 5 points you're paying extra. But the Nighthawk does, so, yeah. So we're down to a +1 because Foxy died. Sorry if that was not understandable. I said we're down to the +1 because Foxy died, and now I'm just rebuying tanks. Faust buys this Caillou, and I just buy an M1A1. And now it's just, I think we go ahead and start our push for Bravo. And yeah, this is a large, kind of a pretty big force. There's a lot of LVTPs, but I think we're able to clean it up, maybe. If I was paying attention. Oh no, the Nighthawks is fucking. That Nighthawk was pretty annoying. It was a really, really annoying, actually. We're able to get into here. Somewhat get into here. I mean, Faust just drove on this road and was able to get in. I just buy a whole bunch of Fusiliers and, you know, shit like that. Oh, this is a big moment. The K1 kills my Chaparral, and then I realize, fuck, I have no AA besides Faust's. Yeah, but I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I'm not moving my shit, so obviously I'm not paying attention, you know? But he just fucking murders me. There goes an M1A1, a K1, and a fucking Leopard. So I have no more tanks anymore. Absolutely none. Yeah, it just fucking murders me. And then he kills the hurt M1A1, and then the Crotal just fucking whiffs. and he kills it finally. But yeah, that was just bad play on my part. I wasn't paying attention and bad micro on having the chopper right there, and I didn't even know he had line of sight on it. I knew you could see it, but it's whatever. That was just a one really bad play on my part. Like it was pretty bad. But anyways, we're able to just get into Bravo now. Next, we can get into Fox pretty easy after that, and yeah, we're in a pretty decent spot, and that's just about it. Um, Now we're just pushing into Bravo. Yeah, and again, I think Faust played super good this game. He just it's amazing. I love my baby. He played really well. Um, Better than me for sure, but KD wise, I kind of sorry, I had to fucking sneeze. Anyways, KD wise, I pulled ahead, but Faust still played really good. Better than me for sure. But that's game three. We move on to the finals. We play the finals game today against Val and Meso, other members of ANZ, and that should be pretty interesting. Look forward to those games. I don't know if I'll probably be casting those games instead of recording because again, I don't like to record and be in the middle of a game because until my heatsink comes in today, later today or something like that, my new one, that's when I'll be streaming again. So yeah, I look forward. And I'm also working as well, full time at the moment. So that again, that's another reason why you haven't really seen me streaming or any type of I'm not playing at all really. Um, but yeah, see you guys in the next one, and look forward to the finals games of the National tourney. See you guys later.